Have you ever wanted to achieve something big? You dream of success. You imagine a better life. But when it's time to act, you delay. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. If you've ever felt ambitious, but also incredibly lazy, then this story is for you. It might just change how you see your life forever. Once upon a time, in a peaceful valley surrounded by gentle hills, there lived a young farmer named Damian. Everyone in the village knew him for his strong body, his bright smile, and his even bigger dreams. He would often tell his neighbors, "One day, I will be the most successful farmer here. My land will glow like gold, and people will come from all over just to ask me for wisdom." The villagers admired his confidence, but they all noticed the same thing. Damian never followed through on what he said. When dawn arrived and the other farmers walked to their fields with tools in hand, Damian would stay curled up in his warm bed. When the midday sun burned hot and others worked tirelessly, he'd be sitting under a shady tree, describing his grand plans for greatness to anyone who would listen. And whenever someone asked him for help, he would just shrug and say, "I'll get to it later." He loved the idea of success, but he disliked the effort it required even more. One quiet afternoon, Damian's uncle, a wise old farmer respected by everyone, came to visit. He walked around Damian's land and frowned. The soil was rich and fertile, but nothing grew there. It was a field full of potential, completely untouched. "Damian, my son," he said gently, "you speak of golden harvests, yet your field is empty. Why is that?" Damian just laughed confidently. "Don't you worry, uncle. Tomorrow I will begin. I promise you, my field will be the best you've ever seen." The uncle had heard that word, tomorrow, far too many times. He knew Damian needed more than just words. He needed a real lesson. So he pulled out two small, identical pouches from his vest. Inside each was a single seed, ordinary in size, but extraordinary in meaning. "These," the old man said, placing them in Damian's palm, "are magic seeds. The first is the seed of ambition. If you plant it and care for it each day, it will grow into a magnificent tree that offers endless blessings, food, shelter, and true prosperity. The second is the seed of laziness. It grows very quickly, with almost no effort, but it brings with it terrible weeds that will spread across your entire field and destroy everything in their path. Your future depends entirely on which seed you choose to nurture." Damian stared at the seeds in his hand. One promised the success he always dreamed of. The other warned of the ruin he feared. He nodded eagerly. "Of course, uncle. I'll plant the ambition seed right away." But when the next morning came, Damian's old habits came creeping back. He yawned, stretched, and whispered to himself, "I'll do it tomorrow." Days turned into a week. Then, driven more by curiosity than discipline, he finally went out and planted both seeds, telling himself he would take care of them later. Weeks rolled by like lazy clouds. Damian completely forgot about the seeds. He spent his days daydreaming about riches, chatting idly in the village, and napping under the warm sun. His big dreams remained just that, dreams. One afternoon, he happened to wander back to the spot where he had planted the seeds, and he froze in disbelief. The laziness seed had taken over completely. Wild, tangled weeds twisted across the soil like hungry creatures. They had spread over every corner of his field, thick and dark, choking the very earth. And the ambition seed, it was still there, but it was frail, starving for attention. almost invisible among the suffocating weeds. It was a tiny, pathetic sprout, struggling just to survive. Just then, his uncle returned. He looked at the field, and a deep sigh escaped his lips. "Damian, look at this land. This is exactly what happens inside a person's life. Ambition is fragile. It needs your commitment, your patience, and your daily work. If you ignore it, it fades away. But laziness grows all on its own. It requires no effort, and it will consume everything if you let it." Only then did Damian truly understand. He knelt beside the dying little plant, and hot tears warmed his eyes. For the very first time, he felt the crushing weight of all the opportunities he had wasted, all the tomorrows that never came. That night, he couldn't sleep. His mind replayed every empty promise he had ever made to himself. He whispered into the darkness, "If I don't change right now, I will lose everything I dream of." Before the sun even thought about rising the next morning, Damian was up. A new fire burned within him. He marched to the field and began pulling out the weeds with his bare hands. His fingers stung, his back ached, and sweat dripped down his face, but he didn't stop. He worked until every last weed was gone. When the field was finally clear, he began to care for the ambition seed. He watered it carefully, day after day, protecting it from harm. Time passed, and with his daily care, the seed grew into a strong, beautiful tree, a tree that gave him more than he had ever imagined. And Damian changed as well. His laziness faded away, replaced by discipline and a deep sense of pride. The villagers no longer called him a dreamer. They admired him as the man who conquered his own worst habit, the man who turned his barren land into a paradise. Damian's story isn't just about farming. It's a mirror for all of us. Each one of us carries these two seeds inside, the seed of ambition and the seed of laziness. Ambition only grows when we feed it with action and consistency. But laziness grows without any effort at all, and it silently destroys our potential. So don't wait for tomorrow. Begin today. Start nurturing your ambition, no matter how small the first step feels. Start pulling out the weeds of procrastination that hold you back. Because the longer you delay, the further your dreams will slip away. If this story inspired you, please share it with someone who also dreams big but struggles to stay disciplined. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next story.